DreAllDay.com.
And a lot of times people ask me questions about how do I do things, you know, Dre, like how do I dribble better, or, you know, how do I start my business, or how do I start making my videos, or how do I start building my brand, or I want to start building a business. How do I actually start doing that? Thank you, Night Nerds 99. I appreciate it. I'm always careful. I'm always not, and I always am at the same time. You see, I got my seatbelt on. And people always ask me how to. They ask a lot of how to, technical, what are the things that I need to do? And all of you know, if you watched me before, you know I always talk about the be, do, have principle. And we know that if you want to achieve anything in life, you want to get any type of result in life, for those of you who never heard it before, that means you have to become the right type of person first. You got to become the right type of person first. Then you take the actions. You do the doing part, the actual actions, the work, all that stuff, the performing, and then you get the have, which is the result. You get the money, you get the fans, you get the girlfriend, you get the spot on the basketball team, you get the customers coming into your business and spending money. That's the have part. So a lot of people know that to get to the have part that they have to actually do something. I think most people understand. I think most of you already understand mindset. Yes, all of you understand that there's not any way in life you can get something for nothing. All of you understand that you're going to have to put in some effort if you want to get anything in life. I think by the age of 12, most people understand that you're not just going to get something just because you said you wanted, that you do have to actually take some actions. So that's the second part. But a lot of people don't even realize that they're missing the first part, which is the B part. And that's why I said belief changes everything. Part of that B, belief. The root word of belief is actually believe, but we'll say the first two letters, which is B. You had to become the right type of person. And what exactly does that mean? Because a lot of times when I say that, people think, you know, maybe that sounds kind of ambiguous. What does it mean that you have to be the right type of person? What's going on in Russia? Here's the first thing that you got to understand. And as I'm talking, please tap the screen with your finger. That's your way of letting me know that this is a good point that I'm making, that you think that this is valuable information. I'm going to keep going. And we're trying to get to 1 million here too. This is DreAllDay, Dre Baldwin, if you came in a few seconds late from when I started. And shout out to you if you're watching on replay. First thing you have to do is you have to believe that it's actually possible for you to do something. So why do I say that belief changes everything? How many of you have ever, you yourself or somebody you know, set out to do something that you knew that you really didn't believe you were capable of achieving it? Or you told somebody like, yo, I did it already. I know you can do it. All you gotta do is A, B, C. You told them what to do, and they went out to go do it. But you knew and they knew at the same time that they did not believe they were going to be successful. You could just tell by the look in their eyes, the way they were talking, the way that they were walking, their body language, their whole energy. You just knew what's going on, Barra 34. You just knew that they knew that they were not going to be successful. They just knew that they had no belief in themselves. You could tell they had no belief in themselves, and you could tell that it was going to be an unsuccessful attempt, whatever it is they were about to do or you were about to do. Maybe you've been in this situation yourself before where you were on your way to do something and you said, I know this is not going to work out, but I'm going to just try it anyway. If any of you ever been in that situation before, you know exactly what that's like. And when you don't believe in yourself and what you're doing, you're never going to have success in anything. So let me give you a concrete example. Any females, if there are any females watching this stream, I want you to answer me this question. Have you ever been out somewhere? Let's say you go out, you go to the mall, or you go to the bar, you go to the club, or maybe you just out living your regular life, your day-to-day life, and a male approaches you. He's interested in you, at least he appears to be interested in you, but the way he talks to you is not even based on the way he looks or what kind of clothes he got on or how tall he is or whatever it is. It's just the way that he approaches you, the way he talks to you. You can just tell from his energy that he don't even have any confidence, that you can tell that he don't even believe anything that's coming out of his mouth at that moment, and you end up turning him down just off the fact that you can feel his energy and you know that he doesn't believe anything that he's saying to himself. He's saying to you right now. Can any of the ladies that's watching this right now confirm or deny what I just said? Is that accurate or is it not? All right, Danielle just said this is confidence that matters. April said, yes, that's definitely true. Who is that? Nina Young said that's definitely true. Sports Account said my Periscope's getting popular. Well, that's what's up. That's because of people like you, Sports Account. So females, y'all all can agree with me that when a male approaches you, it's not always about what kind of shoes he got on, how tight his pants are, how big his muscles are, how tall he is, what kind of car he's driving. Maybe those things may matter to you in the long run, but when a man first approaches you, if you can feel that he doesn't believe in anything that he's saying, you're not even going to give him the time of day because he don't believe himself. Nobody wants to be around a person who doesn't believe themselves. And if any of you know about leadership, even if you never thought about it before, you think about the people that have led you in your life, the people that you have chosen to follow, is always somebody who believes exactly in what they're doing. They know exactly what they're saying. They know where they're going, and that's why people follow them. So the first step in that be, do, have principles, same everything, and he has a higher level of confidence, then you automatically know that everything's going to be different. And all of you we can just use an example from all your lives. If any of you ever tried something where your confidence wasn't very high, let's say your confidence wasn't very high in something, you tried it and it didn't work out. Maybe you didn't have the technical skill yet, but also you just didn't believe in yourself and you failed. But then you tried that same thing again, maybe a week later, maybe a month later, maybe 5 years later, and your confidence got so much higher. You believed in yourself so much more. All of a sudden, everything just started working. All of a sudden, things just start breaking the way that you thought they were going to break for you. And that's how belief changes everything. And belief is the very first step in you doing anything. As I talk about confidence all the time, it's one of the topics. Understand that all confidence is, ladies, the simple definition of confidence is one word: belief. Belief in your ability to do something. Somebody said the connection is bad. I'm sorry, but I'm driving, so I really can't control the connection, y'all. I'm about to go under a little bridge here. It's not that long, but hopefully we stay live. If we don't, I'll come back in a second. All right, hold on. I'm gonna come back in a second. Me now, is it good? Is the connection? I get some feedback from the audience. Is it frozen? Is it the video linked up with the audio? Can you hear me at all? Is anybody even hearing the fact that I'm talking right now? Let me know. All right, the connection is good again. Are we good again? Thank you for that. All right, we back in action. All right. So when I say belief changes everything, understand this. The energy that you have whenever you go do anything, when you turn on your camera to do a Periscope, when you write a research paper, when you go to make a sales call at your job or at your business, when you go approach a girl or you go approach a guy at the bar or wherever you at, whatever it is that you're doing. When you believe, are we frozen again? Can everybody hear me or not? I'm getting some people saying it's frozen, some people saying we good. So let me know where we at. I might have to just start a brand new stream, but y'all gotta let me know where we at right now. We good now? Ethan Munson, thank you. Are we good? Can anybody else confirm that we are good? Ethan said we're good. We good. I got the corner store connection. Yeah, I might have a corner store connection. I'm driving. So anyway, this is what I was saying. The energy that you have, thank you, I appreciate that, Romancho. The energy that you have before you go do anything, it projects out in front of you. Like I think I talked about this yesterday. Have you ever been in a situation where you're angry for whatever reason? You're angry about something that happened, or you're upset about something that happened, or you're mad for some reason. It doesn't even matter why. You're mad for some reason. As soon as you go out in the world and talk to somebody who has no idea why you're mad, no idea why you're angry, don't have any reason to know why you're upset, never talked to you before in their lives, but as soon as you start talking to them, they can already feel your energy. They can already tell that you're upset. They can already tell. You could already tell about somebody else when they're angry before you start talking to them, just because their energy projects in front of them. So the energy that you have for anything, ladies and gentlemen, projects out in front of you all the time. So when you believe in yourself or you don't believe in yourself, guess what? People can read that off you before you even say a word. Like I asked the ladies early on in this stream, if a guy doesn't believe in himself and he's approaching you to try to talk to you, you could tell that he don't believe in himself before he even opens up his mouth. You ain't even got to talk to him. You already decided before he said anything that you weren't going to get that guy the time of day, just because you could tell that he doesn't believe in himself. And if you want anything to change in your life, the point of all this, if you want anything to change in your life, the first thing you got to work on is stepping up your belief. You got to step up your belief. And what does that mean? That means you got to take your level of certainty. Your level of certainty that you can do something, that you can be somebody, that you can accomplish some goal. You have to keep that level of certainty as high as it can possibly be at all times. That level of certainty can't falter. The level of certainty is kind of like breathing, really. It's kind of like oxygen to your confidence. It's oxygen to your success. And the only way that you can maintain it is if you keep breathing. If you take anything and don't breathe for 30 minutes, it's going to die. There ain't too many living things that can survive without oxygen for 30 minutes. You got to keep going at all times. So it can't take a week off. It can't take a day off. It can't be a bad month. It can't be any situation where you just decide you don't want to believe in yourself anymore because of what somebody said or what something did or something just didn't go the right way. Yeah, you can't be breathless. If you're breathless, you're going to be lifeless. You always have to be certain of what you're doing. The question here, the pro asked me, how do you create certainty? First way you can create certainty is you can borrow that certainty. First of all, you look at where you want to be. With the be, do, have principle, the first thing you got to have is a clear vision of who it is you want to be. When you know who it is you want to be, then you'll know exactly what you're going to do, and then you'll get what you're going to get. So the first way to create that certainty is, first of all, create a vision of who you want to be. Who is the person that you see yourself as 5 years from now? This is an example I got from this guy. I don't even remember which book it is, so I'm not even going to try to quote the book. I think it was Stephen Covey in the 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. And he said, well, fake it until you make it is one thing people say, but fake it till you make it is something that I'm actually going to be talking about at TEDx Coconut Grove on February 5th, 2015 in Miami. But the thing is this. You create a vision of who you're going to be 5 years from now. So let's just imagine you're standing outside on the steps outside of where you at right now, and you see a person walking your way down the street. They kind of about your height, and it might look like you, but it's not quite you. And as they get closer, you realize, oh, it actually is you. But it's the 5 years from now you. It's not you right now. It's the 5 years from now you. So these are the questions that you need to answer about the 5 years from now you. What do you look like? What do you talk like? How do you walk? What is your level of success? What are the things that you've achieved? Dion said this came out of my book, The Super You. Absolutely it did. What are the things that you've achieved? What do people say about you behind your back? What's the word about you around the community? What do people really feel about you? How do people feel when they see you? What's the energy people get? What's the vibe people get when you step into a room before you even say a word? That's part of creating who you're going to be. That's part of creating that vision. And the only way you're going to get to create that vision is you got to get clear on exactly who it is you want to be. Dave said he wants to be one sexy beast. Well, hey, you got to create that vision. It's fully in your power to create that vision. Whatever it is you want to be, ladies and gentlemen, and understand that this principle works for the positive as well as the negative. So when somebody has a vision in their mind, if any of you ever watch like a Scared Straight show or something where somebody's in jail, they've been locked up for a long time, and people ask them how did they get to where they at, and they'll say something like, listen, my whole life growing up, I thought I was going to end up in jail. I thought I was going to end up in prison. I thought I was going to end up a drug dealer. I knew I was going to end up being a prostitute on the street. I knew I was going to end up being a loser, because people told me that all my life. Have any of you ever heard somebody say something like that before? Like, all my life, people told me I was going to be a loser. I never amount to nothing. I was stupid. Thank you, whoever that was that told me I'm beautiful. You know, my mom always told me that. So it goes right in hand with what I'm saying. See how the comments go right with what I'm saying? People say that. So my mom always told me, listen, you're handsome, you're great, you're going to be successful, you know, you're a hard worker, you're smart. She told me those things all the time. The things that you get told all the time, it's going to become a self-fulfilling prophecy. That's how you start to create that certainty. And if you want to change what you become, all you have to do is change the things that you're being told. So don't take that the wrong way as thinking that what somebody else says about you determines who or what you're going to be. You can determine it. You can control that outcome at all times. You can start changing the conversation you're having internally. And here's what's the most important thing about that is this. Thank you, Nina Young, 85. Most important thing about that is this. Who do you have conversations with the most in your life? The answer is yourself. You talk to yourself more than anybody else talks to you. I don't care who it is you got around you. You have more conversations with yourself. And that doesn't necessarily mean you actually talking out loud to yourself, but your thoughts are a conversation you're having with yourself. That's a running conversation that's taking place all day long, which means if you change that conversation, you will change everything in your life. So wherever your life is right now, if there's anything that you want to change, anything that you want to make better, anything that you want to improve, anything that you feel like is not ideal exactly as you want it, and understand it, you can have everything that you want. I'm going to get to that in a second. If anything's not how you want it, all you had to do is change the internal conversation you're having about that area of your life, or that person that you're being, or that thing that you're doing, or the results that you have or have not been getting. And the other thing is, you can have anything you want in your life. There's this guy named Andy Andrews. He's a professional speaker. And one time I heard him speaking, and he said, you know, a lot of times people, they get into this moderation and balance and what's the word I'm looking for? Compromise in their lives. They think just because they're successful or they have what they want in one area is okay to become up short in another area. And he said, listen, if I gave everybody in this audience a magic wand and said, do whatever you want to do with this magic wand in every area of your life, what would you do? You would supersize everything. You had a perfect relationship, the perfect family, the perfect house, the perfect car, the perfect job. Everything you did would be ideally exactly as you wanted. And he said, based on that magic wand theory, why aren't you demanding of yourself, demanding of your subconscious mind, demanding of your life that you start actually creating those things? The reason why people don't create those things is because they have no belief. they don't believe that they can actually have it. See, people say, you know what, I would love to have a 10 bedroom mansion with 20 bathrooms, but they say it would be great to have it, but they don't really believe they can actually get it. They don't really believe that they're the type of person who deserves it. They have no belief. So that's why they won't become the person that can do it. They don't even tell themselves to become that person because they don't believe they can do it. Then they don't do the things necessary. They never even get to step 2, doing the things necessary. And then at the end, of course, they never have it because they have no belief in the first place. The magic is in the mind is the magic wand. Absolutely. The mind is the magic wand. Exactly. The mind is the magic wand is important, but a lot of times people they stop at that point. Even if you're thinking it, you got to go actually do the thing. Somebody said they need to go get the Super You, which is my book on Amazon.com. Yes, go get that book. If you haven't got the Super You off Amazon, you can get it right now. What's it, like $2.99 on Amazon? So go get that book. So ladies and gentlemen, that's what belief is all about. And once you have the belief in anything, everything else is going to change. And if things are not changing, ladies and gentlemen, here's a very important point you got to notice. If things are not changing, that means either A, you don't really have the belief, or B, you ain't been doing it long enough. If you have the belief, you got to do it a long time, because it's kind of like you got to wash out all the BS that's been building up in your mind for the last 5, 10, 35 years. You got to wash all that out to replace it with the good stuff. Super You, Y-O-U, the word Y-O-U. The Super You is the name of the book. You get it at DreAllDay.com/Super You. You just go to Amazon, look up my name, you'll see it. The author is me, Dre Baldwin, D-R-E, last name B-A-L-D-W-I-N. The Super You. That book is about the highest level of confidence, unlocking and living with your highest level of confidence. How much does it cost? Dave, I guarantee it costs less than the phone that you're watching this video on. I guarantee you'll have plenty of change left over. Is there any advice for Heartbreak? I'll talk about that on a separate scope. Whoever that was that just asked me that question, save that question, because I ain't going to do a Q&A probably sometime this weekend. I ain't really did a Q&A this week like I thought I would. But listen, that's what belief is all about, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you watching me for the first time, swipe to the right, share this on your feed so people can catch this message that I just talked about, because everybody didn't get it. I appreciate that. Nina Young 85. If you watch me for the first time, swipe to the right, follow me here on Periscope. I do this stuff all the time. I might do another scope as soon as I get out of where I'm about to go right now. It's only going to be a couple minutes, but I don't even know how many hearts we got so far, but we're going to get to 1 million. That's a guarantee. I appreciate you, Sports Account, and everybody else who's been tapping the screen for the hearts, because we are getting to 1 million. Probably we're going to get to the 1 million probably by the end of this weekend. I think I was at like 987 or something. But then at the 1 million, we're going to 10 million. All right, so everybody, do people get to talk to me personally? Absolutely, Andrews. You can email me, Dre@DreAllDay.com, and I will get back to you. I might not get back to you today, but I will get back to you. Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you, Nina Young. I appreciate you appreciating the scope. So that's why I want to come and deliver more value every single time I do these scopes. And I got so many topics that I want to talk about. I also take suggestions from the audience. When people have questions, I like to talk about certain topics on different things. So we're going to get to that in a minute. I got to get off here right now. Where am I? I'm headed to the top, man. Where you going? All right, everybody, have a great afternoon. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Work on your game. Dre all day. Video. I'm sure you were entertained. Make sure to stay connected with me on all your favorite social networks. Twitter and Periscope at DreAllDay. Instagram, Dre Baldwin. Facebook /Work on Your Game. You can bookmark my YouTube channel by subscribing, of course. And the website is workonyourgame. That's .me. Workonyourga.me. And of course, my homepage is my website, DreAllDay.com, so you can know exactly what I'm doing, exactly when I'm doing it, and how you might be able to be involved. Work on your